So we're back. It's me. It's the Rook.
Hey.
2 days vacation. Rangers are on fire right now.
On fire. 8 straight. Up 2-0 right now. Looking for 9 straight.
It's the first intermission right now. And good evening to our one viewer right now. But I'm sure we'll catch some more as the night goes on.
What's going on?
One thing I just want to bring out. I thought about you today, Rook.
Oh, thanks for thinking about me. I think about you every day, buddy.
I got hungry after dinner. I had nice thick ribeye for dinner. And then I was like, you know what would really set off this dinner right now, this ribeye? Some crunch berries.
Crunch berries.
And I didn't have any crunch berries, so I was like, screw it, I'm going to the store. It's like 7 o'clock at night. I'm going to the store, I'm getting the crunch berries. Hold on.
I honestly thought you were going to say someone throwing a knife at you. Or sticking a knife at someone.
And I'm like, ooh, I want some crunch berries. So I go to the store to grab some crunch berries because they're delicious. And I grab a big box of crunch berries, and then I end up not eating them because by the time I got home it was 7:30, 7:40ish. And I was like, by the time I pour some milk into this bad boy, it'll be like 5 minutes to air. I was like, I don't even want to get into it. This guy. Back It Up Binge Podcast. Nice to hear you. Let's go, Devils. No. Go home, Devils. Actually, they are home in their rat hole of a stadium that's fairly new and is still somehow falling apart. That's Jersey for you.
I actually will say this. I know it's a bad take, but that's not that bad of a stadium.
Dude, I went there to go watch my fiance and I went there to go see Dan and Shay. And I'm looking up and I could see insulation in the roof.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Like, really? You have a professional stadium, you have insulation exposed.
You know what? No, what's terrible too about these stadiums? Like, think about Barclays, Prudential. They spend all this money on these at MetLife, and they're not that great. Like Barclays, if you sit up on the upper deck of Barclays, it's like you're like so it's so steep. It feels like you're in like cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone.
I don't get mad about that simply because at Old Yankee Stadium, that's what the upper deck was like.
I guess that's true. It was like
my mom used to be terrified if we ever got when I was a kid in elementary school, they had a thing called Jump Rope for Heart. I don't know if they still have that, but it was like a charity thing where it was like a jump rope-a-thon where people pledged they'll give you $5 for every hour that you jump rope, and you could jump rope for the whole day. So ultimately they're going to donate $40 to whatever your to the American Heart Association.
Okay.
And in some instances, if you got enough money, they gave you free tickets to Yankee games, but they were always in the upper deck. So I was actually at the first Subway Series game for free thanks to Jump Rope for Heart because I got tickets in the upper deck.
Nice.
But anyway, back to my thinking about you. So I go and I get my Captain Crunch with crunch berries, and I also got a thing of Cinnamon Toast Crunch because that's freaking delicious. And I'm riding back home, and what comes on the radio but Newfound Glory?
Nice.
And I'm thinking to myself, man, that Newfound Glory rocker turned out to be a great guy.
Yeah, I love Newfound Glory. They're so good. I don't listen to the newer stuff, but I do listen to the old stuff. And the story we had is I've never seen them live. Despite the fact I love them. I
thought of two things. I go, nobody on this show knows that he's the Newfound Glory rocker. I was like, and they probably all don't realize that his name is Rook. It's short for rookie. I don't know if they know that.
No.
They probably think we're calling you a chess piece, like you're the Rook as opposed to the Knight or the Bishop.
Yeah, I got you.
Though I think Bishop would have been a cooler name.
So the funny thing is, when I was younger, I loved watching them. like my parents would let me go to concerts, like along with friends and stuff. So I never got to see them. I finally got to go to the Warped Tour one year, and it was the one year they weren't playing at the Warped Tour. Like Yellow Card, I saw like Dashboard Confession, like all those bands, but not New Found Glory. So then recently in 2020, they were playing at the Atlantic City Beer Festival, and me and my brother had bought tickets. We're getting ready to go, and pandemic happens, and I don't get to see New Found Glory. That was like my final time to go. I mean, they're still playing live, but I'm just too old to go.
Now you have kids and shit.
Too old. So,
by the way, a big kudos to our production team. Whoever put together this background, it is friggin' awesome. I don't know if anybody has a chance to take a look at this background.
We're muted. It's very cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ferry's moving on it.
The ferry is slightly moving. Yeah, the ferry is moving. Holy crap! My brother-in-law actually is the first one on this.
Oh, my song's on.
Hi, Sienna.
Say hi, baby. His little hand. What song is on? And what did Daddy do in the cruise? He sang to that song. And what do I look like? What do I look like? A crazy person? She's making fun of my dance moves.
So, normally we'll wait to the end of the show to do this. But I've got ice here, and I don't want it to melt. And this is very important. I've been talking about this for 2 weeks, and TJ's going to be pissed that he's not here to witness this.
Oh, moment. Yeah.
But here it comes right now.
Whiskey of the week.
Parched right now. I've been saying for 2 weeks I got something special. I was cleaning out the liquor cabinet, and I found a bottle of something, and I was like, I'm going to have it on the show. And it's like finding money in your pocket in a jacket that you haven't worn in years. So I probably bought this bottle for about $80 when it came out. And I found it the other day, and it's Macallan edition number 2. Okay, that was a limited run. This bottle full, sealed, unbroken, is about $700 commercial now because it's no longer available. And I'm going to drink a little bit of this right now.
It's crazy.
When you, what's that?
It's pretty crazy. It's $700 now because it's so limited.
Yeah, I got it for $80, and I know somebody's gonna be like, "You put ice cubes in it, you ruined it." Fuck you. It's my drink. I'm drinking it cold.
Yeah, drink it how you want to drink it. No judgment here.
Oh, it smells very sweet.
I don't have a whiskey because obviously you see I am riding solo today with the kids. So
I was gonna say, don't say you're babysitting. You're a father.
I didn't say I wouldn't say babysitting.
No, sometimes a friend of mine are like, "Oh yeah, I'm babysitting tonight." I'm like, "Dude, those are your kids. You can't babysit your own children."
I just get offended when I think one time I think somebody I don't want to name names, but someone did say that. Oh, well, Anthony's babysitting that day, and I'm like, I'm not babysitting. Those are my children. Don't spoil alerts. We got people here on the podcast. They might not want to know how trolls end.
Oh my god.
So funny. Also, new announcement. Is it good? Delicious?
This is freaking incredible.
And you only have a little bit left, Nick. Oh my god.
Dude, I've got this. That's all I got left. This is so smooth.
You have to savor that forever.
It's smoky, it's smooth.
Wow.
This is everything I want my scotch to be.
Just look on your face as you sipped it and you looked up. You looked very happy. So
I feel like I want to cry a little bit. I feel bad that I'm drinking it.
I want to put it into a lake and freeze it and wait for the springtime, melt it, and drink it again.
I want to sew up my mouth and my penis so that I can't process it out of my body, and it could just stay with me forever.
But in other news, just because we're talking about the backdrop real quick, I know you're drinking this great scotch over there, but the podcast network has a new name. It's now That Sports Podcast Network, or TSPN, if I'm Jerry Schaap. I wasn't saying it, but TSPN, That Sports Podcast Network, is a new podcast network. It used to be Fantasy Corporation. Obviously, all of us do fantasy sports. They changed the brand name, make it more about sports, which is what we do. I mean, we don't really talk about fantasy. Every now and then, me and TJ talk about gambling, but not really fantasy sports. So
yeah, we're fantastic. That's about as fantasy as we get.
Yeah. Or when I think about, or I have JD-esque fantasies middle of the day.
Actually, most of the show, because my TV's up here and I'm usually watching some sort of sporting event, I do look like this a lot.
You do look like you're like,
And it's not that I'm thinking like really hard or something, or I'm imagining other things. It's that the Rangers just scored a goal, and I'm just like,
it's like, what if me and Anthony were pimps?
I used to date a girl that we go out someplace, and I'm addicted to baseball, and there'd be like a baseball game in the background, and she'd get mad because I'd start looking at it, and I'd be like, all right, I'm done eating, you're still eating. I'm like, what would you rather I do? Stare at you instead? Like,
watch you eat.
Watch you like eat faster, and then we can talk. But you're not talking, you're sitting there chowing down. I'm watching the Yankees beat the Red Sox in Connecticut.
All that. Right, well, I don't have a whiskey, like I said.
This is delicious. If you get an extra $700 laying around, or you can find it MSRP for $80. Macallan edition number 2. Here's what the bottle looks like.
Nice. If there's $7 lying around, you want to just,
or if you could find it MSRP, God bless.
Yeah, if you could. I'm doubt you can at this point if it's limited. They probably don't even sell it anymore.
They probably don't even sell it anymore. That's pretty accurate, actually. But we got sports to talk about, so let's do that.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about first, Anthony?
Well, what do you call it? First of all, I'm actually going to a whiskey event this weekend with my brother. It's a Scotch event. He invited me along with him and his friends. So
I'm glad Dave invited me. It's not like I like Scotch or anything. Thanks, Dave.
I knew you were going to say that. Well, I was invited along.
Go fuck myself. It's all right.
I was invited along, so that's the reason why. But who's taking along? It's like he's going out with his friends and he's bringing his little brother along like he used to do.
Bro, your little brother, you're 36 years old. I don't think you're a little brother anymore. I said something the other day. My father was like, from the mouth of babes. I go, babes, I'm 36. The fuck you mean babes?
No, I'm still little brother, man. You can't shake that title. You know that. It sticks with you. But let's talk little Rangers. I'm pretty excited and amped up about that still. So let's go.
Let's do it. I love it. It's great.
I hate that they put the Islanders on it, though. I wish they.
Listen, we're New York, and you know what happened on Sunday? The Rangers beat the fucking shit out of the Islanders after a terrible fucking start. And I know a guy who was there. It was wild.
I was there. Hold on.
That's right. It was you.
Hold on 1 second. Nick, you talk about it for 1 second. I got it.
Yeah, go. Anthony doing the dad thing for a second. Rangers come back from a 4-1 deficit on Sunday at MetLife Stadium, though Sam Rosen kept saying Mile High on Tuesday. We all know it was MetLife Stadium. Probably the only winning any team in New York is going to do in the MetLife Stadium, at least, well, until the fall, hopefully, God bless. Rangers come back. Capo Caco, as of Tuesday, was on a 5-point streak. 5 games in a row with a point. The Rangers have won their last 8 in a row. Going beyond the All-Star break, they won their last game before the break, hit the break, came back on fire 7 games after that. Igor Shesterkin seems to have, I will say that he started off very poorly on Sunday, did not have a good game, but then he comes back on Tuesday and just has a hell of a game against a very good Stars team. And it looks like, Igor's had his up and his down year. And I think that with regard to Igor and having a bad year, it's a bad Igor year. I think that we as Ranger fans need to understand that it's a bad Igor year. It's not a bad year. A bad year for Igor Shesterkin versus a bad year for an average goalie in the league. It's not the same thing. An average goalie in the league would kill to have a bad year like Igor is having. And we're blessed and spoiled as Ranger fans to not acknowledge like, hey, this guy is, he's not playing his best hockey, but it's still better than most of the league. So Igor had a great game on Tuesday, started off very poorly against the Islanders on Sunday, but cleaned it up somewhere about halfway through the second period. And I got to be honest, the Rangers defense as a whole does not help this man out.
No.
Stupid turnovers in their own end.
Yeah.
They I'm trying to remember the damn word where you pass in front of the damn goalie and you fuck up his vision. I just can't
Or
recall.
screen your own goalie.
There you go. I'm like, it's window. No, it's screen.
Screen, yeah.
They screen him way too much. Way too much. You know.
So the thing is, I went to the game at MetLife. We posted a video about it. You can watch it. It's on YouTube. That Sports Podcast Network. Check it out. I have an interview with Mike from New Belgium. He was tailgating with him. We had free New Belgiums the whole time, which was pretty awesome. I didn't record any of that on the podcast, but I think I talked to him. But the event was very cool. Obviously, I've been to 2 outdoor games. I went to the one at Citi Field, which was a lot of fun. The Citi Field one was freezing, so I overdressed for this one because it was not that cold out. But everyone was like, dress warm. It's probably somewhere in the 20s and 30s. Wasn't terribly cold. The wind chill was gonna make it a little less, but it really wasn't that bad when you're inside the stadium. So I was actually annoyed that I was wearing so many layers. I was sweating at one point. The Citi Field game was at one point our beers were freezing over. That's how cold it was. It was negative with wind chill, and the game had a weird rule where they had in the second and third periods, halfway through the 10-minute mark, they actually stopped the game at the 10-minute mark, and each side had to switch sides because the wind was so terrible. Trying to make it even. It was really
just so you know, this year they had a very similar thing where like the NHL had to decide whether or not they were going to play a third period, whether or not the weather was good enough to play an adequate third period.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I wouldn't know.
They brought it up during the intermission. They were like, "Yep, they're going to decide right now whether or not they're going to play the final." I want to say the final 10 minutes of the game.
Wow, really? I didn't know that was they didn't make an announcement like that.
They talked about it like 6 times. So I imagine had that had happened, you would have been sitting in the stadium like they just stopped the game for no reason. What the fuck?
Yeah, and we were annoyed because what happened was the game got delayed. It was 3:45, so you got an extra hour, basically an extra hour of tailgating. We head over to the stadium around 3:00, and we could not get in. The security was so poor, like people were just piles and piles on top of each other. They had the lines were forever. The lines were all a mishmash. It was a mess. We missed the first 4 goals of the game. Like when we sat down in our seats, it was 3-1, and we're like, "What the hell just happened?" Like it was awful when it came to security, but. The rest of the game was good. Obviously, Rangers come back. Mika hits that shot with an incredible angle. I mean, that angle, I don't even know how he got it in. But I'll tell you what, the atmosphere of that stadium, I mean, you have 80,000 people there. It's a football stadium. Like when you go to a Rangers game, they score a goal. It's awesome, right? You have 40,000 people there screaming the goal song. When you double that, the atmosphere is incredible. Everyone's going nuts. You see the whole crowd, everyone pumping their fists, the hey, hey, hey. It was awesome. It was probably one of the greatest atmospheres I've ever been to for a sporting event. I've never been to a playoff hockey game, but I'm assuming that atmosphere is probably pretty much the same.
Yeah, I heard it was electric. Hank loved it. He said he was like his first game outdoors as a spectator, and he was like, "Oh, It's amazing."
He's played in 4 outdoor games beforehand.
Right.
And the Rangers are the first team to have 5 wins in outdoor games. So
I think they're undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated. They're 5-0, and they've had 5 wins the first team.
I think that's kind of ironic considering the movie Mystery Alaska it surrounds a team from Alaska playing the New York Rangers and the New York Rangers not being able to play pond hockey.
Well, TJ's not here, so I know TJ hates that movie.
That movie's a fucking incredible. He just hates it that fucking Russell Crowe's got better flow than he does.
He just does not believe the Mr. Alaska team could actually beat the New York Rangers. I think that's
he's sitting there going, fucking Russell Crowe can't play hockey. Russell Crowe was a gladiator in fucking ancient Rome. Oh, but yeah, he can't play hockey. He's not man enough to play hockey. He can cut somebody's head off, but he can't play fucking hockey. All right. Easy there, partner. Easy.
But anyway, go check out the video. It was a really fun time. You're going to hear a lot of me screaming, "Let's go," because I was just so fired up. I was running around. I don't have some of the pictures. I don't have videos of like people scoring because I was just so into the power plays. Everyone's clapping, going nuts, slamming, screaming out, "Let's go Rangers," getting the chants going. So I don't have the video of the Kreider goal, the Mika goal that ended up tying the game. But I did post a little picture in there. And I was about to record the overtime because I wanted to get the game-winning goal in case the Rangers scored. And it happened so fast that I couldn't get a video of it. I mean, you score within 10 seconds of the start of the overtime. You just do not expect that. But that was awesome. It was great.
great game from the Rangers. A great comeback by the Rangers, to be truthful.
Yes.
What it came down to is the same problem that the Islanders have had all season. They just can't close out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a problem closing out. That's mostly all their games are like that.
You're going to see a lot of Islanders fans complain and cry about penalties that shouldn't have been called penalties. They're penalties. That's it. To sit there and be like, oh, this guy flopped. Dude, was your stick in a space where he could actually get away with that? Yes. Then even if he flopped, why is your stick there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You put your stick between somebody's legs, they're going to find it.
Yeah, I'll talk about this during the my video, but you think about it, they have the second power play. They're down a goal. They already have the man advantage, and they pull Igor, which I thought was kind of ballsy about Lavalette because you have the empty net. They could throw the puck down with no icing repercussions at that point. And they actually do eventually got a shot off, and I thought it was going in. It just missed. I mean, you at that point, you're like, well, if you have the goalie there, it was a tie. It's almost a tie game. Like, what are you doing? You're down a goal. You don't need to pull the goalie on that point. The earlier power play, they were down 2. Makes sense. It's get a 6-on-4 advantage. At that point, you're down 1 goal. You're trying to protect the net, and he pulls the goal, and I'm losing my mind because I'm like, if they score it here, obviously game's over. It's 6-4, game's done. But somehow Rangers pull it out. They get that Mika goal with 1:30 left, and the Islanders blow a 2-goal lead within 5 minutes of the third period of the game being over. And that place was ready to explode. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm watching this game now. Rangers were on the power play. They're still up 2-0 in the second period. The game on Sunday was definitely fun to watch. Game on Tuesday, it was good to see the Rangers play against some heavy competition, still go out there and win in convincing fashion. Islanders are searching for a playoff berth. They're not in the picture right now. Mm-hmm. But it's the NHL. Anything can happen moving forward, especially in those little increments when you're talking about you're the 17th seed. All you got to do is be 16. That's it, right? 16 teams make the playoffs. There's less than 30 teams in the league, if I remember right. If I do my math correctly. Though you should never do math in public. I
will say on Tuesday night, I was expecting them to come out and maybe not play as well because I think they put everything into the outdoor game. And I know we were talking about this in our tweets this weekend, but Evan Roberts was talking about how, congratulations on your Stanley Cup in February. Like, listen, this isn't, as a Ranger fan, we were fired up because of that comeback. It's a statement win. It's an awesome moment. It's in this incredible atmosphere of being an outdoor game. It's something that doesn't happen very often. You're in a football stadium with 80,000 other fans. It's just an incredible moment. So for us to be excited and celebrating the way we did when we won that game is well-deserved and should be done by fans.
I'll tell you right now, I hate that. Oh, congratulations on your Stanley Cup victory. Why don't you try making the fucking playoffs and then talk? The reason Rangers fans are pumped about fucking beating the Islanders is because we like to put you fucking bums in your place, you fucking suburb-loving fucking losers. You're not really a New York team. You're from fucking Nassau. You shouldn't even be called the New York Islanders. You should be called the fucking Nassau Islanders, all right? Well, I don't understand why that suburb has a team. That's like Yonkers having a fucking football team for no reason.
The Yonkers
Islanders.
Yonkers Braves football. I just made that up. But yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I think, listen, if the Islanders won that game, they're probably just as amped up as Rangers fans are because of the fact it was, let's say the Rangers don't come back and they win that game 5-3 or 6-3 and get an empty netter. Like, they're going to be bragging about that all they want. And they're not even the playoffs. So, like, for us, we're in a playoff picture. It's the atmosphere. It's a whole.
It's a rivalry game.
It's a rivalry. Of course, it's a rivalry. So
you could be the fucking Stanley Cup champion the following season if you fucking beat the shit out of your rivalry team. You're feeling damn good, and you're gonna rub their nose in it. You're gonna tell them to suck it. Tell them to suck it every day of the week and twice on Sunday. You'll tell them to suck it in a practice game, a scrimmage, fucking preseason, a regular season, the playoffs, a Stanley Cup. It's your rival. You can always suck it.
Well, they could always suck it.
That's why we always have fucking. That's why we thank God for Degeneration X. We wouldn't know what to tell our rival anymore. Like, what would you say to somebody if you were like, other than like, fuck you, which is like next level? That's not even playful. That's not even playful. that's a like fuck you is like, okay, now we're fighting. I could tell you to suck it and still maybe not fight.
The best was when when they tied the game. Someone just like threw beers in the air, like they wasted beers. I got hit with beer on me, and I was just like, I don't even care. I'm wet from someone spilling beer on me. I didn't care. The tie game was amazing. But yeah, obviously, Rangers going for 9 straight. So moving on from Sunday, it was just a great time. But Rangers are up 2-0 still, right? They're going for their 9th straight. Is it the longest winning streak in NHL right now? Probably, right?
I believe right now it is, yes.
Yeah. I know the Edmonton Oilers almost had 16 straight, right? This year?
I couldn't tell you. I am unsure at present time of what the Edmonton Oilers have done because it's
it got broken. I'm saying longest streak this year. I think they were at 16 games or something like that this year.
That is absolutely possible.
Which is incredible.
But talking about people telling people to suck it. That brings me to our next topic. By any chance, Rook, did you happen to see the Florida Gators intra-squad game earlier? I guess I want to say it was yesterday.
Yeah, so I saw that clip and I didn't realize it was an intra-squad game. I was like, what the fuck is that guy
I'm going to share it right now. This is via Twitter. It's intra-squad. And for me, it kind of just tells me like everything I need to know about this generation of kids.
It's kind of
you really don't need the audio, but we're going to see this anyway. This is
I thought it was college baseball, so I figured out they're probably like spring training scrimmage or something like that.
This is an intra-squad game against his own team.
On his own team.
So this guy just jacked a home run, and he's pimping a home run off his own pitcher because that's what kids do today. And he's jaw jacking to the pitcher, telling him to go fuck his mother or whatever he's saying. And he's rounding the bases. And right here he says, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Go pick up the fucking ball. Go pick up your fucking ball.
Yeah.
And the Florida Gators as a team, as a college, posted that as like something to hang their hats on, that their players are. It's bad enough they have arguably the most notorious football player to ever play for a college. Aaron Hernandez went to Florida. All right. Fucking murderer. All right.
Oh,
okay. I couldn't give up. Tim Tebow's one of the worst quarterbacks ever. So good. They had one of the worst quarterbacks, a murderer, and this douchebag. But now they're also going to throw out there like, oh, yeah, and we have douchebag baseball players too. He didn't kill anybody yet, but he's an asshole. Like, why would you tell your own teammate, fuck you, go pick up your ball? That's not playful banter. That's not like, hey, I got one on you, Jimbo. That's fuck you, see me in the parking lot after the game.
That is, honestly, I feel like that's what happened, right? Or like there's something behind those two guys. Like one of them banged the other's girlfriend or something like that, because there is no way as teammates, even to pimp a home run like that. Like if you're in practice and a teammate pimps a home like that, next guy comes up and beaming him. I don't even give a shit who it is.
That's some Jack Parkman type shit.
Yeah. That's not what I mean. That's intra-squad. When I saw that, I thought it was scrimmage, and I was like, "Oh, fucking hilarious!" He did it against, and I'm like, "Wait, they're on the same team."
I don't think it's fucking hilarious, even if they're playing against somebody else. I don't like that shit. For me, when you're a stud, when you're a pro, when you're a big guy, and you bang a home run, I always think of fucking Street Fighter with Raul Julia and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah,
And I can't remember her name right now, but she still looks the same, and it's been fucking 30 years. Her name is like Han Minghua or something like that. She's in The Mandalorian now. Anyway, she plays.
Oh, right. I do know who that is. Okay, yeah, I don't know her name.
She plays Chun-Li, and she starts going off on Bison about how you murdered my father. It was the most important day of my life, and I'll fucking kill you. And he's just like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, what? And he goes, you need to understand, I kill a lot of people, man. For you, the day I killed your father is the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. I don't fucking remember. And to me, when you're a pimp and you hit home runs, you don't sit there and make the pitcher feel badly about himself. You don't do that shit. You round the bases because it's just another hit to you. Because you hit home runs all the time. Imagine trying to make a spectacle. In hockey, they celebrate goals because goals don't happen all the fucking time. Like there's times where guys, especially younger guys, they'll score 30 goals in a season. They play fucking 80 something games. They score less often than most. All right.
Mm-hmm.
In baseball, like if you're truly a pimp, I'm not sitting there saying guys hit home runs every day. I'm not saying that. I'm saying is act as if you're really a stud and you're cracking home runs every day, then you're not celebrating it because you're just like, whatever, on to the next one. That one's over, on to the next one. And this kid's doing it against his own teammate in a game that literally does not matter. Not even a fucking game. It's intra-squad. It's practice. We're not even talking about a game. We're talking about practice.
Unbelievable. I agree.
And you're seeing a lot of the older guys like denounce this type of stuff. And then I saw John Mincone. He was a farmhand for the Mets. He's like, anybody who's against this never played at a high level. I'm like, I'm seeing guys with better major league careers than you sitting here saying that this is bullshit. Like, come on, man. I guess the Mets don't have very high fucking accountability of their team, which explains why the teams that you were almost on weren't any good. I saw somebody else post something about I was Randy Couture beat somebody. I can't recall the name off the top of my head. And the opponent that he just beat for the heavyweight championship at UFC put the belt around his waist and snapped it on for him. These two guys beat the shit out of each other, literally threw punches, and they'll hug after a fight. Same thing in boxing. For the most part, most fighters will sit there and hug after a fight, a job well done. Meanwhile, baseball players, football players, basketball players are sitting there telling each other to suck it. And it's like, dude, you didn't even touch each other, all right? Or you barely touched each other. Like, neither one of you really want to throw a punch because if you did, you'd be out there fighting for a living instead of playing a child's game. Like, and meanwhile, the guys who are laying haymakers on one another, they're hugging and kissing. I just don't get it. I don't get the tough guy routine because truthfully for me, if I'm the pitcher that gave up that home run, that kid's missing an opening day. I'm going to break his fucking face before he even gets to first base. I promise you, I don't tolerate that shit. I literally would. He'd have his jaw wired shut, and he'd be wearing the Giancarlo Stanton for the season. I'm telling you, like you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn, like, and people sit there saying, "Oh, why is it gonna be like that?" Well, the truth of the matter is, if you don't want to fight after you disrespect me, then don't disrespect me. And all those people are going, "Oh, well, then don't let him hit a home run off of you." Fuck you. There's consequences to your actions because I'm okay with jaw jacking. I'm okay with talking shit, but make the rules like hockey where there are legitimate consequences when you cross the line with me. If I feel disrespected, we're going to fight. That's it. There's very few things that really put me over the edge of anger. But if you disrespect me, I'm going to fucking knock you out. That's it. And even if I don't, I promise you, you're going to remember that day for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
it's
we differ on the in a game. Some guys have a little extra fun. The slow walking,
you're not having fun. You're being an asshole.
No, I'm saying like the throwing the bat in the air. It's fun for the fans. You try to want to bring baseball back into how making fun for the fans and stuff. So I don't hate that. But what this kid did, obviously, I think it's obviously crossing the line. If he did this in a major league game, I'd probably be pissed off too. Yeah, I mean, it's just the fact that he's doing an intra-squad game is absolutely ridiculous. For him to think that that's okay for him to act that way is
against his own team,
and then for his team to take it on put on social media and be like, "Look at this fucking play!" Like
so bizarre,
out of your mind,
so bizarre,
so stupid. But
like if the Giants had a fight at their practice, and then they posted it like Giants, we fight each other. Like,
yeah,
what?
There you go. But wait, so we want to talk about Major League Baseball and Mets Yankees. Spring training's going on.
Yes,
answer into that. But let's take a quick commercial break here. It's about halfway through, and then we'll come back to about Mets Yankees. I don't have the ability to do that. You got to do it.
Oh, you're calling out commercial breaks. I thought you were going to do it.
I don't.
Fantasy Sports Corp and Underdog Fantasy have teamed up to start. Fantasy Sports Corp and Underdog Fantasy have teamed up to start your fantasy season off in the win column with Best Ball. What is Best Ball? It's quite simply the easiest way to win. No team management, no trades, no waivers. It's their biggest contest ever and it has only gotten bigger. You simply have to sit and win. You don't even have to set your lineup. Always get your best score every week. Just enter a contest, draft your team, and Underdog will do the rest. What could make this even better? How about free money, up to $100 using our exclusive promo code? Go online now and use the promo code Scoreboard to double your deposit up to $100. You tell them Gingerbread sent you. Good girl.
I want a dog like Gingerbread. I want a dog like Gingerbread.
Yeah, she's cute. Thank you, Gingerbread. We appreciate that commercial break. So let's get into it because we have some. I laugh already. I'm such an asshole, but I'm gonna laugh anyway because the big news out of Mets spring training, it hasn't even really started. Just pitchers and catchers, right? The players haven't really showed up.
No, the players showed up yesterday.
They showed up yesterday.
Spring training game started today.
Oh, did it?
Already Yankees play.
Kodai Senga is already out. He's not going to start the season. Did you hear this?
I heard that he was sitting for a few days. I didn't hear that he was going to miss any part of the season.
He's going to miss. They said something. He's already sitting down.
He's got some capsule inflammation.
Capsule in his shoulder, which is a pretty significant injury for a shoulder, especially for a pitcher. So it's like, hey, same old Mets going to happen. You know, Kodai is he pitched pretty well last season. So I'm just looking at him returning and having another decent year for the Mets, and it's already falling off for them. So just one of those funny things that I like to talk about with the Mets.
I'm trying to find out like the exact duration.
City won't start the season, definitely. He's done. Not done for the year or anything, but he's definitely won't start the season.
I tell you, shoulder injuries are very, very bad, and definitely a bad sign. I mean, for the Mets at least, he was their best starter last year.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's expected to start the season on the IL with the shoulder injury, with the inflammation in his right capsule, whatever that is. I'm not a doctor.
I don't know what it is. But Frank the Tank, known Mets fan, Frank the Tank.
Known Devils fan, Frank the Tank. He's probably having a great night today.
Yeah, he's having a horrible night right now.
Rangers up 3-0 here in the second period.
They were in the airport and he found out about it. He was screaming about it. He's like, it's the same injury as Johan. It's the same injury as all these little players. And I'm like, oh, God, this is already starting for the Mets. I'm sorry, guys.
So I
apologize.
I asked TJ's opinion on this last week. I'll ask your opinion on it this week. Free agents available right now.
Mm-hmm. Who
are your biggest surprises there?
I'm surprised a two-time Cy Young winner is not signed yet. Blake Snell. Jordan Montgomery is huge in that Texas Rangers run to a championship. He's not signed either. I don't know. I think it's weird. They got something with the owners. And I don't know if they're just not offering the right contracts to these guys. Trying to stay away. These large contracts. What'd you say?
You think there's some collusion?
I mean, I guess I could say collusion. I mean, what else is there? I mean, what else could you say? It's very strange because these guys would have been signed already. If this was like 10 years ago, these guys, you don't have a two-time Cy Young Award winner just sitting there, And the Yankees made him an offer, and he said no. He wanted more money, and the Yankees didn't want to give it to him.
I think he wants more years.
Yeah,
which ultimately means more money. But yeah. I mean, the guy can't throw much further than 5 or 6 innings. He's not an innings eater by any stretch of the imagination.
No, he's not. He's
on the wrong side of 30.
2 Cy Youngs. And then you look at Jordan Montgomery. He was a former Yankee. I always thought he was good as a Yankee. I mean, they never gave him run support, so he didn't win a lot of games.
I love Jordan Montgomery. I had so many good vibes from Jordan Montgomery. I really did. Not only because simple shit like he's a lefty, that he's homegrown, and he wore 47 after Pettit wore 46. They had kind of similar body builds with thick thighs, and they didn't have your typical lefty curve. They threw fastballs, and it wasn't like a blow you away kind of fastball, but they threw a little fastball, slider, cutter, slide type deal. So I really like Jordan Montgomery. When they traded him for Harrison Bader, I knew it was a bad idea because you don't trade a healthy player for a broke dick player. That's not good baseball. You just don't do it. And everybody will sit there and say, oh, Harrison Bader played great in the playoffs that year. They lost, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I mean, they went to the ALCS with them, but like, what
is that what we've resigned ourselves to as Yankee fans? Is, well, at least we made the playoffs. We used to be a team that actually won championships, and we were like brag about winning championships. Now we're getting to the point where like, well, he played well in the playoffs. Who gives a fuck? You didn't win the World Series.
No, I agree with you. I'm not saying
going to the playoffs. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying a lot of Yankee fans defended Bader by saying, "Oh, well, we don't make it to the ALCS if he doesn't play well in the ALDS." Congratulations, we got a worse draft pick to still not win the World Series.
Yeah, and not to mention, he honestly was the only player that was hitting in that postseason. Like even in the ALCS, he had a home run. I thought they were going to win that game and lost that game. And the worst part was after coming out of that season, we have obviously what happened last year with the terrible Yankee season in 2023. But you look at it, everyone's like, Cashman's like, well, we were 4 games away from the World Series. Yeah, so you would have been 4 games away from the World Series if you lost in the ALDS. Like you didn't win a game in the ALCS. You were swept by the Houston Astros, by your rival who has defeated you every time you've gotten that far. And you sat back on the same exact team. They re-signed Judge. And we looked at it. We were like, this team is not going to be any better than it was last year. And it wasn't. It was actually even worse because they lost Judge, who was injured. The only person who's reliable on the Yankee team is Garrett Cole. He's been worth every penny. Out of all these big contracts that have been done, he has been worth every single penny. I hope he continues it this year. Just keeps on rolling.
You know what?
Want to Cy Young.
You know who's not getting any fucking respect?
Who?
Gleyber Torres.
Yeah, Gleyber had a good year last year too. Yeah. And then he's obviously after this year, he's a free agent. So I think he's looking for an extension. I mean, who knows what
he said today. Excuse me.
And he's played well enough to get it.
He said he wants to be a Yankee for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he said he wants to be a Yankee for his career. And then people are like, well, his glove sucks. He's not that good at second base.
His gloves actually doesn't. It actually doesn't.
It's actually not that bad. He's actually not that bad.
When they wanted him to be a shortstop, yes, he was bad.
Yeah.
But the same people that are saying that Gleyber can't play second base are the same people that said that Volpe wasn't good enough to play shortstop.
No.
And here we are, a Gold Glove later.
And he had a 2020 season. He had what, right? Then he had 20.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I'll tell you right now, I'm less impressed by the 2020 season just because he batted like 210.
Why not? But he hit the 20 home runs, which is still.
I would have much rather he batted 300 with 10 home runs.
Yeah, I obviously
because we have everybody on our team can hit 20 home runs and bat 200.
That's true.
Who's scoring any runs if nobody's on base?
Yeah, they need him to be a table setter, but that's not what
who's scoring from second base on that team other than Volpe?
No one really.
Maybe Dominguez. Dominguez is very fast.
Oh, Dominguez is very fast, but he's
if he's ready by May. If he's ready by May.
Yeah, by May. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, Giancarlo was like he went a little.
He came back angry.
He looks. Yeah. He's definitely.
He's fucking angry.
He's not as big as he was. He lost some muscle. He's
okay. He's angry. He got the eye of the tiger.
What's that? He said
he got the eye of the tiger.
I listen. I understand he had a bad year last year. I've always liked Stanton. People have always given him a hard time. He's always been, when he sucks, he says, I'm terrible. They deserve to boo me.
I'll tell you right now.
It. And then then he goes to the playoffs, and he's amazing in the playoffs, except for I think in 2022 when they got swept in the ALCS. But he's that 2021. What was it, 2020 or 2021? I think it was 2020, the shortened season. He was awesome in that postseason. He was crushing home runs all the time for the Yankees, and he just sits there, ho hum, crushing home runs, playing very well. And Yankee fans just always give him shit. They'll always blame him, and they're always going to blame him because of how big his contract is. He could be hitting home runs, winning World Series, and they probably still find a way to get mad at him.
Well, because
how that contract.
Well, listen, being a nice guy doesn't give you a fucking pass on taking money. Like, I think he'd get less hate if he was just like, you know what, guys, I didn't play up to this contract. Here's the money back.
Yeah, but no one's ever going to do that. Come on.
Okay, but then don't be mad when people don't like you.
You know, but I don't think he gets mad if you don't like him. I think he eats it. There's
then you're mad about it. Let it.
I'm mad about it for him. I think
I'll tell you right now. I personally don't care for the guy because he took a knee and fuck those people.
Yeah,
I'm not about that life. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. It did absolutely nothing. Like people, like I'm not gonna get
when he's bad. And the media says, so what do you feel the Yankee fans booing? He's like, I deserve it. I suck.
That whole accountability thing is fucking overrated. Play better baseball. I don't give a fuck if you accept the fact that you suck. Play better.
I get it. He needs to be a player better, but at least
everybody that sits there goes, oh, so-and-so didn't stay after the game and explain why they suck. Like it fucking does it take it back? Like if Zach Wilson stands there after the game and goes, I really sucked today, does that make him magically play better?
No.
Does Stanton get hits because he's like, yeah, I played terribly today? Apparently not.
No,
he
but
batted like 200 the last 2 seasons.
yeah, but like it's the same thing with Jet fans. When Zach Wilson plays bad and he goes up there and he's like, "I didn't let the defense down." That pissed everyone off.
You know what? I honestly didn't care. It doesn't make a difference. Play better. I couldn't give a fuck less. People that got mad about that were just looking for reasons to hate the kid more. They already hated him.
Oh, they already hated him.
And they're like, now I hate him more.
I hate him more because it's like
You just gave me a fucking.
I think taking accountability goes along with the fans.
It means absolutely nothing.
I think
play better. That means something to fans. Play better.
Does to me. Damn it.
Be more successful.
It's real to me. Damn it.
And we move on. We're not going to talk about the NFL, but I want to talk about NCAA football. A lot of changes this offseason with the upcoming playoffs. Me, as a Florida State fan, knowing my team got fucked so hard this year, I look forward to the changes.
What are the changes? I didn't hear it.
Okay, let's get into that. NCAA changed the playoff.
I thought when you said NCAA football, I thought you were talking about the video game coming out. Because
I want to talk about that too. I want to talk about that as well.
Each player that signs up to put their name on it gets $600. Obviously, a lot, but they can't pay too much. You know, thousands of players.
I think
they get a free copy of the game.
So it's like $670.
Wow. I'll take that. Put my name on that.
So they've moved. They honestly, like, they should have kept the game going and gave us fake names of players. Somebody out there. I used to let's talk about NCAA football. By the way, they changed the name of the game. It's called something else now. It used to be called NCAA. Now it's called
the college football.
I think it's called college football. Yeah, which is so stupid.
Because they probably won't be associated with the NCAA.
Say again.
They probably won't be associated with the actual NCAA.
I don't see why not. I don't see why. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, college football 25.
It's called college football, which is stupid. Just call it NCAA. It's like when they went from triple play to MVP, which is so stupid because, you know, other sports have MVPs as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
No other sport has a triple play except for baseball.
Yeah. I used to love playing triple play. That was such a great game.
I love triple play. Triple play was incredible. But I digress. NCAA college football. I love the fact that they're bringing back college football to a console because when I was a kid, I used to play NCAA. And what was great about that game was there was 2 things that were phenomenal. The first one being is you could download full rosters from I can't remember the name of the website right now, but there used to be a website that would name every single player on every single team about a month after the game came out. So you could just download it from them and like fuck your likeness rights. Somebody already did it for me.
Yeah, little rosters and stuff. Yeah.
So I used to, and then you could export whatever your graduating class was into Madden and then import as your incoming draft class. So you could actually, if you played NCAA, you wouldn't need to scout in Madden. You already knew who the good players were if you played NCAA.
Yeah.
So back in the day when you used to actually have to use points to scout players in Madden, like if you didn't know who the players were, you actually had to scout and like use points and try to guess who would be good and who would be bad. But if you played NCAA, you already knew who was going to be good and who was going to be bad because you played NCAA and you could totally skip that part and just draft the players that you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. That was pretty cool, actually.
So it was definitely a cool game. And then the other thing was Road to the Heisman was always cool. And I'll tell you one thing that I loved about NCAA that Madden just doesn't catch up with. I when I was in high school, I played cornerback, right? But when I play NCAA, you create your own player. I would be a cornerback, but I'd play wide receiver, quarterback, cornerback. I'd get records for everything. I would literally play a full game at cornerback, and then I'd start as a running back, and I'd rush for 100 yards. As I'd also be the punt returner and the kick returner. I'd rush for 100 yards, then I'd switch to quarterback. I'd throw for 100 yards, and then I'd play wide receiver and I'd catch for 100 yards. So I would have 300 yards offense total, a few touchdowns here and there, and that was mine. But what pisses me off is that in Madden, if you're a cornerback, you cannot play running back or a wide receiver. But we have seen cornerbacks play running back and wide receiver. So why can't I do that in Madden? I've
Yeah, that
seen
is
Antonio
awesome.
Cromartie line up as a wide receiver. I've seen Deion Sanders line up as a wide receiver. I've seen Devin Hester, who was a cornerback as well as being a kick returner and a punt returner, line up at running back.
Yeah.
So why can't I do it in Madden? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
But the middle linebacker can play tight end.
Makes no sense.
Bizarre. But I look forward to seeing NCAA.
Yeah.
What
are the changes? I want to save 5 minutes just for the NBA real quick because I do have a talk about
absolutely.
it.
So the changes to the college football playoff is it's now going to be a 12-team college football playoff. Obviously, every game will be a bowl game.
When
so
does that
bowl
start?
games
What
next
year?
season.
Oh, really? Like immediately?
I believe it's immediately.
12 teams?
Yeah, for the 24-25 season, they're going from 4 to 12 teams.
Wow, that's awesome. This is the first time I'm hearing this. So obviously,
The Rangers scored.
awesome.
The first 5 spots in that college football playoff go to Power 5 schools.
Okay.
So that has damning result for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who haven't been relevant since Sean Astin played Rudy.
Joe Montana.
No matter how good Notre Dame is, they're going to be number 6.
Wow, that's pretty.
Because they're not in a conference.
Is there a bye for the top 4 or 5 teams? So is there some sort of bye system or no? Is there like a benefit for being in the top 4?
Yeah, because you play the top 4. The highest 4 receive a first round bye.
All right.
And then 5 through 12 play each other in the first round. 5 plays 12, 6 plays 11, 7 plays 10.
So like the Irish need to win like 3 games basically to win a championship now, no matter what, unless they get into a conference.
I mean, they're not going to make it anyway. They suck.
No, I know, but I'm saying if they were to, they can't get into the top.
Right. That team has been living off the fucking Gipper for the last like 80. Newt Rockneys, like they've been their fucking existence.
Join a conference then. That you don't.
They haven't been relevant since Sean Astin played Rudy.
Yeah, I don't get it.
They
people love. They were started off pretty good last year, but they tailed off. Once Ohio
Who
State,
they play?
They put Ohio State, and Ohio State beat them.
I digress. On to the NBA. If I can find the damn thing. Go Knowles.
My favorite part about that graphic is we don't have the fucking Brooklyn Nets on it. I love that.
I feel like it's dirty calling them the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, because they're not. They're from New Jersey. All their fans are from New Jersey. So
it's like
they're not a New York team. I never get to talk about that.
I mean, they were the Nets. Don't get me wrong. They were the New York Nets like when they were the ABA.
Yeah.
That was such a long time ago. It feels like I feel like the Harlem Globetrotters are more of a New York team.
I feel like most people don't even know. Most fans right now, the Brooklyn Nets don't even know there was a New York Nets in the ABA.
Oh, that's like Oakland Athletics fans have no idea their team played in Philadelphia, let alone Kansas City.
Or Kansas City, yeah. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this because Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle were both All-Stars. I think Julius didn't play because he was hurt. Jalen Brunson did play. I know he was dealing with injury. Knicks are kind of middle of a swoon right here. They lost like 4 or 6 straight going into the break. They definitely need a break. They need to get healthy. So I think they start up again soon, either today or I think it starts tomorrow after the All-Star break. But what I want to talk about is you have the NBA All-Star game, which is I didn't even watch it. It's unwatchable. It's not.
I didn't even know it was on.
What's that?
I didn't even know it was on.
I forgot it was on because it was on the same day as the Stadium Series. And when I got home, my brother was watching.
It was the day of the Devils game.
Yeah, no, it was the All-Star Skills was the same day as the Devils game. It was on Sunday, the same day as the Rangers game because we got back.
Oh, even more of a reason not to watch it.
Yeah, we got back from the Rangers game around like 8:30, I want to say, and my brother threw it on, and I was like, the NBA All-Star game's on today. Like, this is weird. But yeah, I was like, it's unwatchable. They have to do something different. I know they do the draft. I think a draft is fun. That's not fun. No one really cares. And then not to mention the dunk contest would just be like the dunk contest used to be like the home run derby, right?
Yeah.
Like people love to watch the dunk contest is a joke now. Like I think someone said they were booing Jaylen Brown over his dunk was over a guy sitting in a chair, and they're like, we saw like was it Nate Robinson dunk over like a standing human being. Like This is like he's sitting down in a chair. Of course, you're gonna be able to dunk him. Nate Robinson jump over a person, more impressive. And not to mention, the winner of the dunk contest. I didn't watch it, so I can't say his dunks were crap or he wasn't good enough. But he's back-to-back champions, Mac McClung. Okay, do you know who Mac McClung is?
I have no idea who that is.
He is a G leaguer. Okay, so G leaguers are allowed to play.
Why is he in the? What the fuck?
So G leaguers are allowed to play or not play, but compete in the dunk contest because none of the NBA stars want to do it. So Mac McClung, who is a good player in college basketball, comes to the NBA, basically is a G leaguer, and wins the dunk contest back to back. Okay, and not even that. Do you know who else was in the dunk contest?
Who?
Toppin.
Obi?
No, Jacob Toppin. His brother, who's also a G leaguer.
No, that's not fair. Jacob Toppin played on the Knicks like 2 weeks ago. He scored his first points the other day.
No, he did play, but he wasn't. He's mostly a G leaguer this year, but he did play.
Well, you know, though, I can't really get mad about it.
Jacob Toppin is one of the names you're putting in your dunk contest.
I can't get mad about it, and I'll tell you why. Major League Baseball allows people who are not on the All-Star team to play in the Home Run Derby.
No, I get that,
and I hate that too.
But at least sometimes those guys are like, all right, we know who that is, and they're going to hit home runs.
When Billy Butler was playing in the Home Run Derby, I was like, who the fuck is Billy Butler?
Billy Butler. And everyone was mad because Robinson Cano didn't pick him. But no, I think it's a dunk contest. It used to be Jordan. Who was
it used to be so exciting. But it's the same thing with the Home Run Derby. Like the guys that are home run hitters don't want to mess up their swing, and the guys that are premier players don't want to get injured trying to do it.
We've seen premier players win the Home Run Derby. Like Aaron Judge, like Alonso has done it.
I agree with you.
And it's still entertaining.
I don't disagree, but what I'm saying is a lot of guys. I remember for a few years, guys like Cano were in the Home Run Derby, and he was like the home run hitter. And I'm like, really? The guy hits 30 home runs a year. That's a home run hitter? Because when I was a kid, guys hit 50 home runs a year.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand.
Like it gets to the point where certain guys just don't want to do it because they feel like it messes up their swing.
Yeah. The one cool part
that's kind of true.
I'm tired. Okay. Daddy's almost done. Come say goodbye to Nick, Uncle Nick. Say bye, Uncle Nick.
Bye, sweetie.
We're gonna say goodnight in a second. But one other thing I did say that was actually really cool was Steph Curry versus Sabrina Ionescu. I don't know, I might put her name wrong, but basically a WNBA star. She shot a 26 points against them. So it was 1 versus 1 3-point contest. She had 26 points, which was actually more than most of the players did, and that was actually entertaining. The fact that they faced off and she was actually holding her own. That she was shooting from the NBA 3 line too, just to see how impressive she is as a shooter. So now there's no defense, but I'm saying just a point of the competition. She lost by 3 points.
You know what? Some of it's getting a little crazy though, because I saw 2 female fighters call out 2 male fighters in the last week. Women are crazy. All right, I'm letting you know right now. I'm not saying you can't fight other women. You absolutely can. But I saw a female call out Israel Adesanya, and she's like, "I could beat him." No, you could get beat by him. He would hit you so hard when you woke up, you'd be in the kitchen.
That's not right.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't want to fight Israel Adesanya, and I outweigh him by 40 pounds.
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about.
I understand it. She's skilled, but punching somebody in the face, who's got lesser bone density and just not stronger than
I'm sure he probably wouldn't want to do it either.
He wouldn't. But the point is she crazy that she thinks she could?
No, that is crazy. I don't like.
She might beat me up, and that's fine. I'm not a professional fighter. He is.
Yeah, you can definitely beat me up too. I'll give that to her. But
so my question for you before we go is, who has the best All-Star game?
I don't know. I still like the MLB more than all the ones. I feel like you can't fake baseball, right? You can't.
Still try.
You still gotta try, right?
They still try.
Yeah.
They're the only ones.
NHL is fun too. NHL, I like that they switched up a 3-on-3 format with the divisions.
I agree.
If I was to rank them, I'd probably say MLB, NHL, I guess NBA and the NFL, but they're so shitty. I'd rather skip number 3 and make them both tie for 4 because they're both so bad.
But yes, we're gonna try to get Jason on from MSG. He actually hosted the NFL and NBA All-Star games. We're going to see if we can get him on to talk about that in the coming weeks. I'll see him on the 4th. TJ and I are going to the Rangers game, sitting in the Sky Deck. If anybody's looking for us, we'll catch you out there. But that's all we got here from the Scoreboard Addicts podcast, and I'll see you again next week. Love, peace, and chicken grease. You guys take it easy.
Peace out.
A-Town down.